Hey mamas, welcome back to another episode of Motherhood is Ghetto. My name is Joy, and how y'all doing out there? If y'all doing all right, say amen. I pray that you are having a good day, a good week so far. May is officially about to come to a close. We are in the last week of May, and honestly, for me, this month flew by. I don't know about y'all, but this month flew by. I had so many things to do this month, and I was like, this is going to be a long month, but everything went by super fast. So now we're at the end of it. But I pray that you are well. Thank you so much for joining me and tuning in today. And before we get into today's episode, you already know how it goes. We got to pay some bills in the place. Amen. So, the Empower Mama Planner is currently available on Amazon right now. And this episode is actually being brought to you by the Empower Mama Planner. And if you don't know, the Empower Mama Planner is a planner that I created just for moms, and it is a undated 12-month planner. So the undated part is so that way the planner meets you where you are. So it doesn't matter what time of the year you pick it up. It's undated so that way you fill in the months and you fill in the dates whenever you want to start your planning journey. Amen. Also, too, the planner includes a special love note from me to you, budgeting tips, self-care tips. There's also a goal tracker to track your goals for the year. There is monthly affirmations, mom affirmations in there. There's also journaling space in there. And as well as there is a 90-day brain dump. So every 90 days, there's a space for you to kind of get your thoughts on the paper and organize all the things and get you set up for the next 90 days. And then lastly, at the back of the journal, there are self-care challenges and money saving challenges just to help you stay accountable while also taking care of yourself and your pocketbooks. Amen. So that is available right now on Amazon. I will link it in the show notes if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And if you are watching this on YouTube, it will also be linked in the description box below. And also, the Motherhood is Ghetto Self Care Journal for Mothers is also available on Amazon too, which will also be linked everywhere. Amen. Amen. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into today's episode. Today is going to be the finale episode of my New Beginning series. And if you haven't already listened to parts 1, 2, and 3, I encourage you to go back and listen to it. New Beginnings is all about my journey to home ownership. I finally reached a major goal of mine, which is purchasing a home for me and my kids. So I am kind of just breaking down some of the steps I had to take, some of the things I had to do in order to make this goal and dream a reality for us. So really the series is all about just trying to encourage you mamas, like if you have a big dream or a big goal, to just, you know, not only make a plan for the thing, whatever you want to accomplish, but also too, like, don't give up. Like, if it's on your heart to do this and you really want this and it's not for anyone else, it's for you and you only, or it benefits you and your family, then I'm hoping that this series encourages you all to just pursue it. Just do it. But also to make sure that you're taking the proper steps, whatever steps that are necessary, so that way you reach your goal. So this would be the final part of this series. So this part of the series, I'm just kind of talking about like what's next for me as far as new beginnings, because like I told you guys, buying the home and getting us into a new environment in a new space definitely is a new beginning, but it's one of many. There are a lot of things that I want to do and I want to accomplish. And a lot of my friends have asked me, like, well, now you got your house, like, what's next? Because they know I've been working on this, like, for the last 3 years. to like what's next for you. So I'm about to get into that right now. So I have a few things on my list that I really want to accomplish and I really want to achieve. So the first being is lose weight. So I've talked about it a lot on here. I've been trying to get my body back ever since my youngest was born, and that was 11 years ago, y'all. So I am really focused now on my weight loss journey. And I've been making some really great progress, y'all. My goal is to be below 200 pounds. And I've never been below 200 pounds ever since I started having kids. So I really want to get healthy. I want to get in shape. And I want to get out of that pre diabetic range because my doctor always tells me I'm in the pre diabetic range and I need to lose weight. I need to watch what I eat, stuff like that. So I'm really focusing on my weight loss journey right now. I go to the gym every week to go to my dance class. That's how I get my cardio in, and I'm actually going to step it up to 2 times a week because I found another dance class at the same gym, just a different location on a different day. So I'm going to be going to 2 dance classes a week to get my cardio in and get my body moving and stuff like that. And then also too, I set up my little treadmill in the garage. Amen. So I'm gonna be walking it out on my off days and making sure that I'm keeping my body moving. And also, I am going really strong with my fasting. I fast 20 hours a day. So, when I started fasting, which was almost a year ago, I started at 15 hours and then I worked up to 18 hours and now I'm at 20 hours. But this time I'm really going to be consistent with my fasting because it was kind of like on and off throughout the year, but I'm really staying consistent this time and this today is a whole week that I've been fasting every day for 20 hours a day and also to making sure I watch what I eat. So that is goal number one. I really want to get my health in order so that way I could be here for my kids as long as I possibly can. Whatever I can do to prevent, you know, unhealthy things or like issues down the line, I'm gonna do it. So that's really what I've been focusing on right now. Also, too, I really want to get back into pursuing my hobbies. This home ownership journey really took me like having to focus on it 100%. And and also too like I set down my little side business with my hair wrap and accessory business. I set down everything so that way I could focus on this and focus really on saving money and budgeting and getting everything I needed to get together in order to get this house. So now that that's out of the way, I really want to start back up with my hobbies. I've been going back and forth thinking if I should open back up my online store. I'm not sure yet because I really do love podcasting and I do want to put my all into this and I really want to see where this goes. So I may or may not, but it's just something that I'm kind of just thinking about, praying about right now. But I want to get back to the things that I love and I enjoy doing. So this podcast being mainly one of them, like I said, I really want to like put my all into it and see what it yields. And I really have been dancing with the idea of being a public speaker or a motivational speaker and using this platform as a way to practice speaking in front of audiences, even though this is a one-way conversation right now, but it kind of helps to prepare me for speaking in front of a lot of people. So that's something that I really want to explore. I really want to I really want to see where this podcast can go and hopefully it has an impact, a big enough impact where it can go lots of places and go very far. Also, too, I want to get back into my music. As I told you guys before, I'm a trained musician. I'm a musician by default. So that was my love and my passion. And really, when I became a wife and I became a mom, I really put that down as well. Also, too, my husband, was into music. He had his own recording studio. So once he wanted to pursue his musical endeavors, I really wanted to support him and back him up. So I didn't, you know, me pursuing my dreams and goals kind of hit the back burner. Definitely I wouldn't go back and change anything with that because I loved supporting him and his dreams. I think probably one thing that I would change is I probably would have been more involved as far as like the musical standpoint, just so that way I can get my music fix. But I kind of just stayed in the background and, whenever he needed me, I would be there. But yeah, I really want to get back into playing my instruments, learning different instruments, and yeah, just back into music. Not for any real reason, like not to perform in front of anyone or anything, just because it's something I like to do. And it really makes me happy. So, and then also to just finding hobbies outside of the house so that way I can get out of the house. The dance class has been very great for that. So I didn't really consider myself a good dancer, but I feel like now I am. Amen. I feel like the fact that I show up makes me a good dancer. So and just finding just fun things to do outside the home, fun things to do with the kids, which leads me to my next thing. I really, really, really want to create memorable experiences with my kids. And I do have a goal of traveling internationally with my kids, traveling outside the country. I'm really scared about that. And the only reason why I haven't done it yet was, of course, money. Traveling international with four kids, really, like in the grand scheme of things, the cost of them is like an adult. But really looking at cost-effective ways to travel internationally with my kids, and so far, what I've seen the most cost-effective way to travel with kids is like going on cruises. So that's what I'm looking into right now. But yeah, I definitely would love to have more time on my hands to create those memorable experiences with my kids because that is very important to me. I don't want my life to be all about work and their lives to be all about school. I really do want to create those memorable moments and family photo album moments so we could put it in a photo album and they can look back on it later. And I just want to spend more time with my kids. We feel so happy and at peace in this house, and I want to keep that momentum going. Like I want to keep capitalizing on this wave that we're riding right now. So that's on the list too, and hopefully soon we'll be able to travel international. Next month we are going to be traveling to Miami, and I'm scared, y'all. Like, I'm really scared because I've never traveled that far with all my kids before. I've traveled that far with one of them at a time, but not all of them together. So I'm pretty nervous. I'm pretty nervous about how it's gonna all work out. But yeah, I'm going to keep the faith and I'm going to trust that God going to make sure we get there safely and we get back home safely. Amen. So, but yeah, that's another thing on the list too. And then lastly, I really just want to find my purpose. I want to find and operate in my purpose. Whether it be this podcast, I don't know if this podcast is my purpose yet, but we're going to see. Amen. And just finding what it is that I'm meant to do in this life and do it for the rest of my life. But I really would love to find what that is because I really do want to be impactful. I want to be inspirational, and I feel like that's the direction I should be going in. I feel like I'm meant on some level to help people, but not like in a customer servicey type of way. I feel like I'm supposed to help people on a larger scale, but I just don't know what doors or opportunities will open for me to do that in the future. So that is something that I feel like I'm being pulled towards, but I just don't know what that vehicle or that avenue will be yet. So hopefully I'll be able to find that soon. So I kind of have an idea of what my purpose is and what, brings me the most joy and something that comes naturally to me. And something that does come naturally to me is storytelling. And I've been told by numerous people that I'm very good at storytelling. So I feel like that's something that comes natural to me. And I also feel like speaking in public is something that didn't come naturally to me before, like when I was younger, but now it does. And and I think it may have been just because when I was younger, like I grew up with a bunch of brothers, older brothers, so I really couldn't get a word in edgewise, so I didn't say nothing. um, Pretty much simple as that. I stayed quiet and I didn't talk, and I just listened and observed to what was going on around me. But now that I'm older and I'm a mom, I am a mom with a child with special needs, so that requires me to be vocal and to advocate for my son and to be his spokesperson. And then also too being a single mom, having to speak up, for the things that I want and I need and that are necessary for my family. So just as I've gotten older, I've just gotten more comfortable with talking with people, not being afraid to get up and be the first one to speak, and stuff like that really doesn't bother me anymore like it used to when I was younger. You never want to be, when they ask a question to the group, you don't want to be the first one to say anything. You kind of want to feel the room out, but I honestly, at this point, I don't care. Um, so I feel like that comes to me naturally, more than to most people. So I feel drawn to kind of go in that direction. So, but we'll see. We'll see. And like I said, I'm really going to be focusing mainly on this podcast. And if you guys didn't notice, I changed the logo of the podcast. So I'm starting like with kind of like revamping the podcast and then started video podcasting on here. So just different ways to kind of elevate the podcast. And there's just so many things I want to do, but I'm starting with baby steps, little by little, just making sure like I get the minute details down before, I head off to bigger and better things. But yeah, that's pretty much what's next for me, as far as motherhood goals, my journey, things that I want to accomplish. That's pretty much what's going to be my focus. But yeah, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this series. I hope that it was helpful. I've been listening back to them. I'm like, I'm hoping that, some of the things that I've said at least resonated with one person, or it inspires someone to really pursue like a goal that they have, and just to put planning and intention at the forefront. I think that's really what I wanted to convey with this series is it's good to have a goal. It's good to have goals for yourself and things that you want to achieve, but where the rubber meets the road is the intention behind it, the planning, and the changes that need to happen. Like whatever that may be, if it's a change in your behaviors, a change in your finances, a change in your mindset, a change in your environment, like all that stuff comes into play. So I'm hoping that this series was able to clearly convey that and hopefully inspire someone to just go for it. And like I said, as long as it's for you, like as long as it's something that you want and you're not trying to do it to please someone else, to keep up with anybody, or to fall into this trap on social media that your life has to look a certain way and you have to do things in a certain order or have it done by a certain time. As long as it's wholeheartedly what you want, and what's going to be the best for you and your family, then hey, I say go for it and be intentional about every move that you make in regards to it. So that's it, mamas. I'm going to go ahead and land the plane here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at motherhood underscore is ghetto. That's where I post clips of the show. I post activities that me and the kids do so you can keep up with me and the kids. Also, if you're not already, go ahead and follow the podcast wherever you're listening to it on. You can listen on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. And also, you can subscribe to the Motherhood is Ghetto YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, give it a like, share with anyone you may think would find it helpful. And lastly, don't forget to pick up your copy of the Empowered Mama Planner. Getting ghetto over here. Oh, the Empowered Mama Planner and or the Motherhood is Ghetto self-care journal for mothers. Both are available on Amazon right now. But thank you so much again, mamas, for tuning in. And until next time, mamas.